Lovely, wonderful people. He's our very own brother. Yes, so Fashola is telling Nigerians. He was featured at Channels TV program where Tinubu himself will not go because probably the questions will be too much, or it might expose what they don't want Nigerians to hear. So Fashola and other people, we've seen them go on Channels television, but not the presidential candidate. Well, Fashola says Tinubu is fit. Okay, he said Tinubu is fit. He runs hard, and is one of the hardest working presidential candidates. And Nigerians should have no fear because this man, he's ready for the job, and people should have no fear. It's him, Fashola, that is giving Nigeria his words, as if his words, means a lot to Nigerians. Well, Fashola, this is what we are hearing from Fashola. I say, guys, don't be deceived. He said, Tinubu, you are seen. Tinubu is fit as a horse. Tinubu is very fit. He's fit to run. So nobody should think that, he says one of the hardest working contestants, so everybody should practically and, be ready to know that Tinubu will take the bull by the horn, and that, this is the first time, one of the first times really that he's speaking in terms of, Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like us, share, subscribe. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, has insisted that the All Progressive Congress APC presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is fit to run Nigeria. Fashola explained that Tinubu runs the hardest presidential campaign, an indication of his fitness, going everywhere. So he said Tinubu is the hardest working contestant among every single one of them. He's gone to more places than all the presidential candidates. That should speak volume. That should tell you that this man is ready to take the bull by the horn. Nobody should come start putting out statements or stories about Tinubu. Tinubu is a man who sincerely have a heart for the people and wants to make a difference, and Nigerians must understand that he has a heart for the people and is ready to work and to run. It is important. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is one of the presidential candidates we must all recognize and see, as one of the people who, should be Nigerian's president. He said he's supporting Tinubu for president. Featuring at the Channels TV program, Tinubu runs a very tough schedule. Anybody or anyone who does not understand would think that he's a lazy man. He said he runs one of the hardest programs, and he's going about everywhere, and this is one of the things happening to him. People are just fabricating stories about him. They allege that APC flag bearer lacked the capacity to rule the country. Fashola thinks otherwise. However, Fashola said we are running the democracy, and there are people who have their views. So we understand, and we allow them to do their own thing. We totally understand it. They are permitted to have their views, but should be very careful of what they say. They should not, it's a democratic setting, it's a democratic environment, and so nobody should be allowed to do anything, on him. He says the People Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Council and many other people are the ones who are speaking and saying all kinds of things, but we will allow it to be because it's a democratic setting. Will not allow the same thing over and over again. It is important that Nigerians understand that Tinubu is as fit as a horse, ready to take the bull by the horn. So this is what is happening, my dear, lovely, wonderful people. Every single one of us must understand that, Fashola is a Tinubu guy. Fashola is a Tinubu guy, and he will do everything he possibly can to ensure that, Tinubu is a Tinubu guy, will do everything he can to ensure that Tinubu is elected. Remember when Tinubu left the position, he just installed the next person who became the president. So became the governor. I beg your pardon. So for Fashola, he has not been speaking much before now, but I think he has considered it very important that he has to begin to speak in terms of all these things that are going on right now. So these are very, very, serious things happening, and every single one of us must understand that our very own brother Shiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, for according to Fashola, is as fit as a horse. Nobody should say that, he's not ready to take on the responsibility of becoming Nigerian's president. They are very sure that, everything he needs to be Nigerian's president is right within his grasp, and is one of the hardest working people. They said he's one of the hardest working people. So it is important we all understand this. It is important. Okay, we all understand this. Anyway, my lovely, wonderful people, we just have to begin to ensure that we do what is right by us. If you think Tinubu is the man, please go ahead and vote for him. Okay, just go ahead and vote for him. But if you think he's not the man, then vote for the presidential candidate you consider and you think has what it takes to bring Nigeria out of the current predicament. And those who have said, they want this country, they want this country to be in perpetual darkness. We need to get this country out of their hands, because most of them, if you ask me, selfishness is lurking all around them. Okay, selfishness is lurking all around them. So it is a matter of urgent attention. Okay, it is a matter of urgent attention, and every one of us must continue to ensure that we do everything humanly speaking possible, okay, to bring Nigeria to where it ought to be. Arise, my people. It's the dawn of a new day. Arise. Do not allow the same thing to hold us bound. Every one of us have got a duty. Every one of us, okay, must ensure that we do everything humanly speaking possible to bring us where we ought to be. Remember, at the end of the day, you and I are in this together. Whatever happens to this nation, it rubs off on us. Look at our roads, all the scarcity and everything going on. Excuse me, is it not affecting you? Even if you have $1 billion in your account, you have the money, but you can't get access to it. Are you not affected? Just a question. So you see why we must vote a credible and the right candidate. We cannot afford to have the same thing over and over again. So it is important we understand this. Okay, it is important. Please, my lovely, wonderful people, remember that every time we neglect the opportunity of getting the right candidate, we leave ourselves to chance. It is important that we bring Nigeria to where it ought to be. It is important we bring Nigeria to where it ought to be. Every time we have this opportunity, let's take advantage of it. God bless. Have a fantastic and a lovely day. Bye for now. Remember, you have a voice. Bye-bye.